The 5G Super Blueprint is an initiative from LF Networking that aims to build end-to-end 5G networks from core to RAN to platform infrastructure to back-end network provisioning and orchestration, all based on open source as well as involving the commercial players of our ecosystem. Hi everyone, I'm Heather Kirksey, VP of Ecosystem and Community for LF Networking, and I'm joined here today by Amar Kapadia, CEO and founder of Aarna Networks. Hey Amar.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. So we are going to talk today a little bit about LF Networking's 5G Super Blueprint initiative. One of the new projects coming into LFN, MCO, that has been participating in that initiative, as well as place it in the context of open networking in general, in particular, sort of some of our looking ahead plans for the Open RAN. So as we get started, and we'll talk a little bit more in detail about these initiatives, Amar, you and your company, which is relatively new, still kind of startup size, could you talk a little bit about why participating in initiatives like this with respect to open networking and and LFN in general are things that you get benefit from as a company?
Yeah, the projects that we are involved with are at the intersection of cloud native and fully disaggregated 5G. That, coupled with open source, makes these blueprints and these networking initiatives really open and accessible to all. And that's really the underpinnings of our business. And that's why we love to get involved in these activities.
Okay, great. So, and we certainly appreciate you being here too. So, kind of rolling into these activities, we'll start with the 5G Super Blueprint. And this is something that's grown out of, kind of years of, pre-LFN and LF networking activities where we've really looked to, build on collaboration, kind of collaboration on steroids, where we go across multiple projects and even across multiple umbrellas. And the goal is really to build out end-to-end 5G networks, add in as much open source as possible, but also add in commercial products, since that's a lot of the way that a lot of people really do deploy their networks in real life. We started with a basic VCO use case, ended up building cloud native, open end-to-end infrastructure, integrated ONAP open source for provisioning and orchestration. And then we started moving into, once we had all those pieces, really beginning to look at some use cases. And this year we really focused on end-to-end network slicing. So from provisioning the network slice into enforcing it. And, because that really opens the door to tailoring offerings for a number of verticals who might need curated network slices as opposed to just kind of the entire generalized power of a 5G network. So with that, Amar, you were involved and your team was very deeply involved in the technology. Could you spend a couple minutes, kind of talking about that from a technical point of view?
Yeah, the first phase of the 5G Super Blueprint involved orchestration followed by network slicing. So first we had to stand up a fully disaggregated cloud native 5G network, and then we were able to perform core slicing on it. So the technologies involved were, we used MCO, which is the topic for today, and MCO is extremely good when it comes to cloud native workloads. They can be cloud native network functions, cloud native applications, stitching them together, and then orchestrating them to the right Kubernetes clouds. So that was the piece involved for orchestration. The underlying cloud was a Kubernetes distribution from Red Hat, OpenShift. And then we had network functions, 5G Core from Capgemini Engineering, UPF from Kaloom, and the RAN was from three companies, Capgemini Engineering, Intel, and GenXCom. So we put this network together, and then we used another Linux Foundation networking project called ONAP to perform network slicing, we were able to create two slices on the 5G core and run video through both of them.
Wow. So basically, we had kind of like real life cores, real life RAN, real life provisioning, real life applications, and we're able to demonstrate that across multiple labs, including going between the US and Canada, which at the time people couldn't even do. Given the pandemic, so yeah, so I mean, this was pretty real life, which is exciting, yeah. Yeah, and so anything else about kind of, InPost kind of coming into the LFN, anything else to add about kind of IMCO's place and, how it might continue to participate in these activities going forward?
Yeah, EMCO is going to play a key role in these initiatives. It's, as I mentioned, it's a very lightweight orchestration product, and it's extremely well suited to cloud native workloads across Kubernetes. So you'll be seeing it a lot more. And the 5G Super Blueprint is also going to continue to evolve as we keep adding additional network functions like the Magma core, which is an open source Magma 5G core in the Linux Foundation. And we will keep enhancing this blueprint.
Yeah, no, and that's great. And it's definitely something that anyone is welcome to get involved in, whether you represent another open source project or you're a company wanting to get involved. You heard it from Amar. It's very useful if you're part of setting up these networks. And then, from adding in an open source core, we also plan to add in an open source RAN from ORAN SC, as well as just continuing to iterate on the use cases. So going from network slicing to full on private 5G mobile networking, and then also talking about integration with other open source projects, start to bring in things like the IoT edge from some LF projects. So it's really around digital transformation from the business use cases, really cool new technology, and then enabling open source projects. And we also welcome SDOs and standard setting organizations to get involved too, so that we can really collaborate across boundaries to bring value to our ecosystem, our industry, and those who depend on the network for their daily lives and for some of these great new services. Thanks, Amar, for being here. And as I said, I'm Heather Kirksey, and if you want to get involved in any of the projects you just heard about, want to learn more about Open RAN, IMCO, or the 5G Super Blueprint, just contact us at the Linux Foundation.